Have you ever wondered what makes a classic car not just beautiful, but unforgettable? Today, we're traveling back to a golden era where every curve of steel and every engine roar told a story of elegance, power, and iconic design. This isn't just another video about vintage cars. It's an invitation to feel the passion behind the finest achievements in 1950s American automotive design. And now, we want to hear from you. Which of these cars makes you daydream? Is there one that left a mark on you as a child, or maybe one your family used to own? Tell us your story in the comments, because here we're building a community united by a shared love for timeless classics. If this kind of content fuels your inner engine, give us a like right now and subscribe so you don't miss any of the treasures we still have to reveal. The best is yet to come. 1953 Studebaker Commander Starlight. Have you ever felt that a car was ahead of its time? The 1953 Studebaker Commander Starlight didn't just look like it came from the future, it was the future on wheels. In a decade dominated by chrome lines and muscular bodies, the Commander Starlight arrived as a true visionary, sleek, aerodynamic, and absolutely unforgettable. Designed by the legendary Raymond Loewy, this model broke every mold with a silhouette so slender and fluid it seemed sculpted by the wind itself. Its most iconic feature was undoubtedly the wraparound rear window, which embraced the roof like an airplane canopy. It wasn't just a car, it was a time capsule, or better yet, a capsule from the future. Under the hood, the Starlight hid a 232 cubic inch V8 engine producing 120 horsepower. In a car weighing just over 3,000 pounds, that power gave it solid performance, reaching a top speed of around 100 miles per hour. Not bad for a mid-century cruiser with unmatched elegance. But beyond the specs, this car had soul. It was a symbol of Studebaker's boldness, a company that, far from the Detroit Giants, dared to be different. In total, just over 10,000 units of this version were produced, making it a highly sought-after collector's piece today. Its value at auction can easily surpass $40,000, depending on condition and originality. Fun fact, the design of the Commander Starlight was so striking that many believed it came from Europe. Some even mistook its silhouette for Italian or French prototypes, a point of pride for an American brand that chose not to follow the herd, but to lead through aesthetic innovation. 1957 Mercury Turnpike Cruiser Perfect. Let's continue with another masterpiece from the golden era of American automotive design. If the Studebaker was futuristic, the Turnpike Cruiser was quite literally a rocket ship ready for launch. This model was born in a context of innovation, speed, and boundless optimism. Mercury wanted to make it clear that it wasn't just tagging along with Ford on the production line. It wanted to stand out, and it definitely did. The Turnpike Cruiser was a rolling showcase of technology, style, and boldness. Its design was as exuberant as it was sophisticated, featuring a massive front grille, a dual windshield with reverse curvature, yes, you read that right, a breezeway roof with a retractable rear window, and chrome accents that caught every ray of sunlight as if the car were made of diamonds. Beneath that majestic hood roared a powerful heart, a 368 cubic inch V8 engine delivering up to 290 horsepower, positioning it as a true luxury muscle car, even before that term officially existed. Its top speed exceeded 112 miles per hour, which was impressive for a vehicle of its size and weight. But what truly set the Turnpike Cruiser apart wasn't just the aesthetics, it was the built-in tech. It came equipped with power steering, power brakes, automatic speed control, yes, in 1957, and a radio with automatic signal search. It even had a function that allowed the driver to adjust the car's height based on road conditions. That was absolute madness for its time. This model was launched as a special edition to commemorate the opening of the interstate highway system, hence the name Turnpike Cruiser. Only around 16,861 units were produced in 1957, which makes it a highly desirable gem for the most demanding collectors today. Its current value in the classic car market can range between $50,000 and $90,000 US dollars, depending on its condition and originality. 1956 Continental Mark II. This wasn't just a car, it was a manifesto, a message from Lincoln to the world that said, "This is the very best America can build." And believe me, it was. The Mark II wasn't just a luxury vehicle, it was a rolling work of art, engineered to rival, and in many ways surpass, the Rolls-Royces and Bentleys of its era. Designed with an almost obsessive pursuit of perfection, the Mark II was built nearly by hand, piece by piece, using materials selected with the care of a jeweler. Its silhouette was restrained, elegant, and powerful, not a single unnecessary flourish in sight. It had that air of quiet greatness, as if it knew it didn't need to shout to be noticed, because when it passed by, the world fell silent. Under that refined hood was a 368 cubic inch V8 producing 285 horsepower, enough to reach a top speed of around 112 miles per hour. But speed wasn't the point. Effortless comfort and unmatched class were. The ride was so quiet, many compared it to being inside a recording studio. Only around 3,000 units were produced between 1956 and 1957, and each one cost nearly $10,000 at the time, more than a Rolls-Royce. In fact, Ford lost money on every single Mark II sold, but they didn't care. This car wasn't made for profit, it was made for prestige. Today, its value as a classic easily exceeds $100,000, especially for units in pristine original condition. This is a car that hasn't merely aged well. It has become eternal. And now, a direct question from one enthusiast to another. Do you think the Continental Mark II is the most elegant American car ever built? Or is there another that, for you, deserves that title? Tell me in the comments. I want to know which car holds the top spot in your personal altar of automotive design. 1952 Cadillac Series 62. This car marks a turning point in American automotive history. It's the kind of car that instantly transports you to an era where style and presence mattered just as much as horsepower. The 52 Cadillac didn't ask for attention. It commanded it with its low-slung stance, imposing front end, and long profile that looked like it was gliding even at a standstill. The 1952 design was elegant and majestic, a refined evolution of the 1940s lines, but already hinting at the bold exuberance that would define the decade's second half. The hood's chrome detail, the pronounced bumpers, and the luxurious touches throughout made it clear this wasn't just a car, it was a status symbol. Under the hood, it packed a 5.4-liter V8 producing 190 horsepower. And while that number might seem modest by today's standards, in the 1950s, it was more than enough to propel this grand coupe with the smoothness and response that defined the Cadillac experience. The relatively new Hydra-matic automatic transmission made driving effortless, perfect for cruising down America's sprawling boulevards. This model came during a historic moment for Cadillac. 1952 marked the brand's 50th anniversary, and what better way to celebrate than with a car that blended prestige, luxury, and power in an almost flawless recipe. Over 70,000 units of the Series 62 were built that year, making it one of Cadillac's most successful models. Today, a well-preserved Series 62 can fetch between $35,000 and $70,000, depending on originality and restoration. But beyond the price tag, what you're really preserving is a time capsule of America's golden age, when the American dream rode on four wheels wearing the Cadillac crest. 1950 Lincoln Cosmopolitan. Have you ever seen a car so elegant it feels less like transportation and more like a declaration of power? That's the essence of the 1950 Lincoln Cosmopolitan, a classic that didn't need to shout to turn heads. It wasn't the flashiest or the fastest car of its time, but its quiet dominance, streamlined design, and restrained luxury gave it an almost presidential aura. At the dawn of the 1950s, the Cosmopolitan represented the pinnacle of Lincoln's luxury offerings. Its body was a departure from the post-war era's lingering design cues. No running boards, integrated fenders, and a sleek, stretched profile that flowed with understated grace. The wide, low grille almost smirked with confidence. It was the embodiment of post-war optimism, dressed in steel and chrome. Beneath its long hood rested a 337 cubic inch flathead 5.8 engine, producing 152 horsepower. While those numbers might sound tame today, the Cosmopolitan wasn't built for speed. It was built for smooth, dignified cruising. Its suspension soaked up bumps like silk on pavement, and its cabin was a cocoon of high-end materials and craftsmanship that rivaled the most expensive European offerings. And here's a little-known fact that elevates its legendary status. The Lincoln Cosmopolitan was the official state car for Presidents Harry S. Truman and Dwight D. Eisenhower. Ford even produced specially armored versions for the White House. Just imagine cruising in the same car that once carried the leaders of the free world. A true rolling piece of American history. Today, depending on its condition, a 1950 Lincoln Cosmopolitan can fetch between $20,000 and $45,000. But finding one that's original, unrestored, and still brimming with that presidential elegance, that's a rare gem few collectors ever see. 1957 Pontiac Bonneville Convertible. This wasn't just a car, it was a statement. Pontiac built the 1957 Bonneville Convertible to shout to the world, "We can do it better." And in many ways, they absolutely did. With just 630 units produced, this was more than a vehicle. It was a technological marvel, a showstopper, and a performance beast, all wrapped into one breathtaking convertible. Visually, the Bonneville was sculpted like a luxury yacht on wheels. Smooth lines, chrome details that caught sunlight like precious metal, and an interior adorned with leather and upscale fabrics that belonged more in a high-end lounge than a car. It exuded glamour from every angle. Underneath the hood was something just as spectacular. A 347 cubic inch V8 pushing out 310 horsepower, powered by an advanced Rochester fuel injection system. That's right. In 1957, Pontiac was already toying with tech that wouldn't become common until decades later. This car didn't just look fast. It was fast, easily surpassing 180 kilometers per hour, a serious number for the time. But it wasn't just about speed. The Bonneville delivered a full experience, the throaty growl of the engine, the open sky sensation with the top down, and that intangible charisma that only a 50s-era American convertible could offer. It wasn't just a ride. It was a lifestyle. Today, finding a well-preserved 57 Bonneville convertible is like stumbling upon a buried treasure. Prices at auction regularly top $150,000, and demand only continues to grow among collectors who recognize it as a perfect storm of rarity, engineering, and irresistible design. And now, let us ask you, if you could choose just one classic to drive along the legendary Route 66, would it be the Bonneville? Or does another icon steal your heart? Drop your pick in the comments. We want to see which classic captures your imagination. 1956 Buick Roadmaster Riviera. This is the kind of car that needs no introduction. Its mere presence says it all. This chrome-laden, imposing, and elegant giant looked like it was built for heads of state or movie stars who wanted to arrive in style with an extra dose of American muscle. It wasn't flashy or loud. What made it unforgettable was its poise, its class, and its quiet authority. The design was pure rolling artwork. Swept sidelines, polished chrome details, and the iconic Venta ports on the front fenders, an unmistakable Buick trademark, turned the Riviera into a visual spectacle from every angle. Its wide, aggressive grille made one thing clear. This car didn't move out of your way. You moved out of its. Underneath its refined exterior roared a 322 cubic inch V8 engine, delivering 255 horsepower. Paired with the Dynaflow automatic transmission, it offered a ride as smooth as silk, while still packing the kind of torque punch that true enthusiasts crave. Accelerating in a Roadmaster Riviera felt like gliding, but at full speed. This model represented the pinnacle of what Buick could offer at the time. Advanced technology, absolute comfort, and a level of craftsmanship that bordered on obsessive. Leather seats, a dashboard with metallic finishes, softly backlit gauges, and electric conveniences made the experience feel like luxury travel, not mere transportation. And perhaps most surprising was its agility, impressive for a vehicle of its size and weight. It was produced in relatively high numbers, but finding one today in original condition is no easy feat. Restored examples can exceed $70,000, especially if they retain the signature two-tone paint scheme and period-correct accessories like the Sonomatic radio or white wall tires. 1959 Dodge Custom Royal Lancer Convertible. This wasn't just a car. It was a bold statement in every inch of its design. Want to know what the future looked like in the 1950s? You just had to look at this convertible. Its exaggerated tail fins rising like wings ready for liftoff, and the nearly artistic use of chrome made it a masterpiece on wheels. It was the epitome of the glorious excess that defined the golden era of the American automobile. This convertible sat at the top of Dodge's lineup that year, and it showed. Every line, every detail, every surface spoke of a brand that didn't just want to compete, it wanted to wow. The front end had an aggressive expression with dual headlights framed in chrome and a grille that looked like a cocky American grin. But the true showstopper was the rear. Those sharp fins crowned with rocket-like taillights, it was as if the car itself was saying, "Tomorrow has arrived, and I'm driving it." Under the hood, it didn't disappoint. It came equipped with a 361 or even 383 cubic inch V8, delivering up to 320 horsepower depending on the configuration. That meant solid acceleration and a powerful growl, perfect for drivers who wanted both flash and substance. The Torque Flight automatic transmission, combined with power steering and power brakes, offered a drive that was both luxurious and exhilarating. Only a few thousand units of the custom Royal Lancer were produced, making it a true gem for collectors today. A well-restored example can easily fetch over $100,000 at international auctions, especially if it retains original details like the drum-style speedometer or the two-tone upholstery. 1955 DeSoto Fireflite Sportsman. This car was the calling card of a brand that, for a brief but brilliant moment, brushed the very heights of American automotive design. It marked the rebirth of DeSoto within the Chrysler lineup, presenting a fresh, powerful, and elegant image that didn't just surprise, it seduced. Designed by the legendary Virgil Exner under the forward-look concept, the Fireflite Sportsman was among the first to adopt the aerodynamic modern lines that would define the style of American cars in the second half of the 1950s. Its tail fins emerged subtly yet firmly, announcing a trend that would soon explode. The precise use of chrome, an imposing front grille, and a two-tone roof enhanced the sense of motion, even while standing still. The heart of this beauty was a powerful 291 cubic inch Hemi 5.8, producing 200 horsepower. That made it not only visually impressive, but also fast and smooth to drive, thanks to its dashboard-mounted PowerFlight automatic transmission. It wasn't just about design. It was performance with class. The Sportsman version in particular offered upscale finishes, two-tone upholstery, and luxury details that positioned this model as a compelling alternative to more popular rival brands. Even so, the Fireflite remained relatively exclusive. It wasn't produced in large numbers, which today makes it a coveted piece in any serious American classic car collection. A faithfully restored example can fetch between $70,000 and $90,000, especially if it retains original features like the emblems, factory interior trim, and the iconic two-tone color schemes that made it so distinctive. Now tell us, if you had to build the perfect collection of 1950s American cars, would the Fireflite make the cut? Or would you swap it for another model you find more iconic or beautiful? Let us know in the comments. 1950, Oldsmobile 88. Can a single car mark the beginning of an era? This one didn't just answer that question, it redefined it. When it first appeared on American streets, it wasn't just another stylish post-war vehicle. It was a rocket-souled machine that forever changed the idea of power on wheels. Visually, the 1950 88 Coupe proudly embraced the voluptuous curves that characterized the post-war design transition. Its long, low body, with fluid lines and a prominent grille, conveyed strength without sacrificing elegance. Chrome details sparkled like jewels in the sun, and the rocket emblem on the hood made one thing clear. This was no ordinary car. But where the Oldsmobile truly shined was under the hood. It was equipped with the legendary 5.0-liter Rocket 5.8 engine, a mechanical gem that produced 135 horsepower, an impressive figure for its time. Combined with its relatively light weight, this gave it surprising acceleration. It could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 12 seconds, leaving competitors in the dust on both drag strips and city streets. This performance didn't go unnoticed by NASCAR racers, who quickly adopted the Olds 88 as one of their go-to machines in the early 50s. Its success on the track helped cement its legend, earning the respect of enthusiasts and building Oldsmobile's reputation as a maker of powerful, reliable cars. Inside, the 88s reflected the spirit of 1950s progress. Luxurious upholstery, decorative metal trim, and a surprisingly spacious cabin made it a comfortable choice for long road trips or cruising down the boulevard in style. Today, finding a 1950 Oldsmobile 88 Coupe in good condition is a privilege. A restored unit can be valued between $35,000 and $60,000, and its value continues to grow among collectors thanks to its historical significance and timeless design. And with that, we wrap up this road trip through automotive history, where we explored true four-wheeled gems that left a mark on the evolution of car design. Each of these vehicles wasn't just a work of art. They were symbols of an era where beauty, innovation, and power met in every inch of metal. Now it's your turn. Tell us, which of these icons won your heart? Which one would you take straight to your dream garage? Was there one you think didn't deserve to be on the list? Your opinion doesn't just matter. It's what keeps this passionate classic car community alive. Drop it in the comments, because here, every voice counts, and together, we pave the road toward the next episode. And if this video filled you with nostalgia and adrenaline, don't miss part 1 of this series, where we reveal 10 more 1950s American cars that redefined what it means to be a beautiful automobile. Click now and keep cruising with us toward the best of the past.